Hey guys, we're back. All right, let's talk camber. Again, camber, super simple to measure with just some basic tools. What we use, again, Grassroots is a cheap digital level that'll make the noise. If it's level, in this case, we're going to be looking for a negative number, and so it shows up super easy to use. And then this old bubble gauge camber measurement tool. You can buy these pretty cheap. You can make one. It literally is a piece of angle, aluminum bar stock, and some standoffs. So if you're handy in the garage, you can actually make one of these for almost nothing if you have scrap. So I'll show you how to make it, how to set it up. Again, these cars, what's interesting, this year we have a rule change. It actually happened last year with a new tire. So we were running Toyos, now we're running Maxes. And after a year of running, everyone's figured out these things love more camber. So we run 3.5, 4 degrees negative camber on the Toyos. On here, we're going to try to get 4 to 4.5. We'll see how much measurement or how much adjustment we have on that. And then we'll test them out here in a few weeks at our first event. So I'll show you how to set that up. All right, guys, so here's the next step. Really easy. If you're making these at home, put some little adjustment holes. And the reason you want to do this is you want to have these little standoffs, top and bottom, touch the top and bottom of your rim. So first things first, put it top and bottom, get it centered up on the center of your wheel, and take your little digital level and take the reading. So in this case, it's around negative 3.9 to negative 4 degrees camber, which means the top is inboard a little bit more than the bottom. It's about what we want for Toyos, maybe a little bit more aggressive, but fine. I ran this way for a number of seasons. But on this car, we're going to try to adjust it to be more than 4. And we'll show you how to do that here in a minute. All right, so on a lot of cars, race cars, they'll have these adjustable caster camber plates. On these E30s, we use this style. And what you do is you just simply loosen up these 4 bolts on both sides. You got to have the car jacked up and the weight off the front of the wheels. And then you basically just push this inboard. And as you push this inboard, you'll get more and more negative camber. Nice thing about these, hopefully we'll see that happen on the adjustment, is there's a lot of negative camber still left over, which is awesome. So we've went ahead and marked this right now at our current reading, in case we need to go back to maybe our Trek setting, which is less aggressive because they're street tires. You don't want too much negative camber. And then we'll go ahead and push these in, remeasure it until we get, call it 4.5 degrees of negative camber. We'll mark those as well. And then when we're at the track, we don't have to do any measurements. We just loosen these up, put it at the line, and we're done. All right, so now we've messed with it up on the jack stands, put it back down. Now it's time to measure it. We found sometimes that this is a 1-to-1. So if it's 3.5 degrees here and you jack it up, it's 1 degree showing because of droop. Sometimes you can add a 0.5 degree there and then drop it down and it's a 0.5 degree here. So let's just see if that still holds true. So the magic number is somewhere right around 4.5 degrees. And on these old cars, car that's over 30 years old, I'm gonna call that good.
I'd say that's pretty good.
All right, so that's a wrap. Now, the only thing we have left to do is mark it up on the bolts and then tighten everything down, and we're gonna call this one done. All right, so the last thing to do is mark the bolts. We've marked it for the first one, which was 4 degrees. And now we're gonna mark the second one right here, which is 4.5. And we'll mark it on both sides, and we're gonna call it all done. The other thing we're gonna do, because we found out that these are not metric, these are SAE. So these are 1/4 inch bolts. And what we've done throughout the car is when we know we're gonna touch something like this, a lot of times, we go ahead and we just mark it. So you're welcome, future Alec and Dad.
Because